Sometimes we get questions from potential clients about them doing it on their own and why they should use us over one of the cheaper alternatives out there. I'll say first that we do try to keep our prices pretty reasonable. I know they are probably at or a little below average for the attorneys in the areas we practice. So I know, especially from hearing about some of the others out there, that we are a great deal. But still, there are some alternatives that cost less. Things like trusts and wills, Mama Bear legal forms, Nolo Press is still out there, and also LegalZoom, among some of the others. And so people will ask, or well meaning friends and family in their lives will say, well, why should you use the lawyer? Because you can do it a lot cheaper. It's all boilerplate. It's all the same anyway. Why would you pay more? So I wanted to address those today. Um, Probably the main thing is that simply when you use us or another lawyer who's experienced in this, your plan is going to work. The lawyer has experience and knows all of the pieces that need to come together for things to work. The things when you do it yourself, you really don't know what you don't know and what you're missing, and those places can't really tell you about those things. They can give you the forms. And so, addressing the boilerplate issue, it sure looks like boilerplate, but just know that your trust is going to be a bit different than your neighbor's trust, even when we prepare both. Depending on your situation and your assets, your tax situation, all of those things, the trust is going to look a little bit different, whether you see that or not. And then in between, the important part is knowing what to put in the boilerplate forms. The information that goes in is really important. We're helping a client that came to us from a financial advisor. They did theirs through an online service and didn't realize that at the first death, gave away everything to their children and leaving the surviving spouse with nothing. That's a big mistake. And before you think the kids would be on board to fix it, I've certainly been in situations where they haven't. And so that's a really big one. But also, kind of on similar lines, there are trusts and powers of attorney I've seen that skip over the spouse and go right to alternate people so that in important things like healthcare decisions or managing your assets, you are cutting out your spouse and you are being cut out from making any decisions on their behalf as well. And that's really important and maybe not fixable when the time comes. So that's a big deal. And then finally, probably the biggest part is funding the trust. What we mean by that is getting assets in the trust or coordinated with the trust so that we achieve the goal of no probate. And this is where most of these plans fail because you need to do deeds to put your properties in the trust. They need to be recorded and they need to be in the right format and give the right property interest to the trust. These are all cases where I've seen it not happen, where the people had no idea they needed to do it, or they just maybe did it but in the wrong way and thought they were safe. Other things, other big assets like your investment accounts, or maybe having the right beneficiaries, whether it's the trust or other people, on life insurance and retirement plans. All of these things are places where we've had to come in and fix them through probate after death. I will say that a lot of these mistakes are fixable. However, if they are fixable, the cost of that is going to be two, three, or even 10 times the amount you saved by doing it yourself. So I do know from 31 years of experience that there are definitely a group of people out there who will never use a lawyer. And I'm not trying to convince you. I am trying to convince the people who are kind of on the fence and wondering, well, why would I pay more to use a lawyer? Really, again, the short answer is when you use a lawyer, it's going to work. and things are going to go smoothly and do it exactly the way you think it's going to work.